Hey guys, Mono here, and this is Reality Mod, a mod for Battlefield 3 which completely changes the game and transforms it into a hardcore milsim style experience very similar to something like Squad. Now, if you know my channel, you probably know that I don't really like Squad. My main issues with it being how spawn points are built and how massive the maps are. I won't get into all the details of how building FOBs works in Squad, but you basically have to drive supplies around and manually build them using a shovel. I just find it incredibly boring, and I think it just results in a much slower paced experience, which some people enjoy, but I really don't. I much prefer the way Hella Loose does it, where it takes literally 20 seconds for you to get supplies and build a spawn, and then you can actually play the game. The other problem, which I think further slows down this entire process, is that the maps are huge, meaning you have to drive around a lot to get to a meaningful spot, and as a result of both the maps and how spawn points work, player density can be really low except for specific areas on the map. In my first hours with Reality Mod, I thought it shared the same issues. Like Squad, you need squad mates around you to build a rally point, which is like the squad spawn point. Like Squad, you need even more players to build an FOB where the team spawns. And like Squad, you're encouraged to wait for a medic whenever you go down, sometimes for several minutes, in order not to drain your team of valuable tickets. However, there are no logistics in Reality Mod. Any squad leader can build an FOB or a rally point instantly with his squad without needing anything else. So as long as your squad sticks together, getting good spawn points that result in more time shooting enemies and less time running around is actually very easy. And the maps are also much smaller, meaning there is a lot more density, a lot more immediacy to the action, especially considering it has the same player counts as Squad, with 100 players per server, even more being available, like 128 or 127 or something like that. But I believe those are currently being tested. It also features maps that were custom created for Reality Mod, as well as some BF3 maps. There's no vehicles like tanks or APCs currently in the game, but those will be coming soon in the next update. Now, there are resource mechanics mentioned in the roadmap, and I'm really hoping that they don't go full squad on this, because that might just kill any interest I have in playing this game. Well, I mean, the smaller maps would make it much more bearable, but I still think it would suck. But enough about spawn mechanics and logistics. What about the rest of the game? Well, even though Battlefield 3 is 11 years old now, it looked amazing back then, and the graphics and destruction really hold up. The maps look beautiful with lush forests and urban areas that feel dynamic and realistic, thanks to the destructibility of some of the walls and structures. Gunplay is really solid as well. There's an adequate amount of spread depending on whether you're crouching or standing up, and shots are fairly lethal considering stuff like armor and things like that. It usually takes a couple of shots to kill someone, and I've had no hitbox issues whatsoever, even though I was playing with over 200 millisecond ping yesterday. This is a game that very much encourages you to play together with your squad, with significant drawbacks if you don't. For example, not having a medic near you or not having one in your squad at all just slows down the game completely, because then you have to redeploy back to the spawn, and that does mean having to run for a bit to get back into the action, not to mention the damage you're doing to your team by losing tickets like that. And just having the different classes in the squad, where, for example, you can have someone with a rocket that can destroy an enemy position from far away, or someone that can drop smokes to conceal movements as you're running out in the open, and stuff like that is absolutely key. Basically, if you're not sticking to your squad and just spawning wherever, you're going to have a dramatically worse experience with the game as a whole. If you're coming off something like Hella Loose, then Reality Mod isn't really Hella Loose with a modern setting. It has its feet way deeper into the milsim pool than Hella Loose does, but as someone that doesn't really enjoy milsims all that much, I think it strikes a cool balance between fun and realism. You can't shoot with absolute accuracy out of a sprint like you can in Hella Loose, but you know, if you take your time and you play it more seriously, it's actually a really enjoyable game that doesn't get bogged down by all those problems that I think Squad has. Now, if you like Squad, that's fine. I just think this game does kind of the same vibe, but does it faster and with stuff like destructible environments, which is very cool. And that's just gonna be even cooler once vehicles are added to further increase that destruction. I will provide links down in the video description on how to install Reality Mod. Basically, you need to buy Battlefield 3 with all the DLC and then install a bunch of things, but it's actually really easy. I think it's a very cool game, and yeah, like the one sentence line for this is it's a faster paced squad, which, you know, if you like that, then you're probably going to enjoy this. Alright guys, that's all I have for you today. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Please give it a like if you did, and as always, thank you for watching, and I hope I will catch you in the next one.